Hey, this is Cameron, and welcome to the reaction log. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Oh god, I went for my glasses. I'm trying to do no glasses so I can look cooler. I can't really see anything though, I'm sorry guys.
Hey guys, welcome to the reaction log.
Hey, today we have something very special and very spicy, just to kind of put a bow on this electric nylon string shenanigans that we've been getting into this week. Our friend of the channel, Tim Henson, has put out a brand new music video, and just from zooming in on there, I'm seeing a lot of classical guitar headstock, so I'm expecting some kind of fugue or something fugue-like. There are two of them, so maybe we have like a two-voice fugue here going on. Whoa, my friend fell off there. She's got a bunch of hair on her now. I'll give her a bath after this video. Now, before we actually get into this, let me go ahead and introduce myself. I am a classical guitarist here on YouTube. And what does it mean to be a classical guitarist? Well, in case you've missed it, I am very much an advocate for the nylon string guitar, and that's in any form that it comes in, by the way. Of course, the best way I want my nylon strings is on a piece of wood that a luthier made in his garage and spent like 6 months on, and I paid like 7 grand for. That's gonna be your best sounding, best feeling nylon string guitar. We call that a classical guitar. The modern day classical guitar. And you know, honestly, classical guitar as just a genre and an instrument, it hasn't really been doing like that great until recently, honestly, in my opinion. And I think channels like this one are a good indication that maybe classical guitar is kind of coming back and it's getting cool again, because it was pretty cool back in the day with Julian Bream and John Williams with their whole dynamic. People were pretty into nylon string guitar, and I especially know that because a lot of my viewers are older, which is a little strange because this is kind of like a degenerate channel, but it's because I champion the classical guitar, or at least I like to imagine that's it. It's either that or maybe I just have a face that the older generation can just kind of relate with. Maybe I look like a grandson inherently. God, imagine bringing this home to your grandparents though. They just start weeping immediately. My baby boy, what have you done? You ruined your perfect little neck. I remember when you were a baby and now look at you. Oh no. So I apologize to all the grandparents out there, of course. So I am a champion of the nylon string guitar. And of course we've noticed it was kind of cool in like the 80s, I feel, is kind of the latest. And then I feel like after Julian Bream died, this is just my own observations of the classical guitar sort of just scene. Seems like after Julian Bream died, things kind of settled down a bit with classical guitar, and then we started getting all these metal guys, like bands like Polyphia popping up, Animals as leaders, and what we're noticing now is that a lot of them are transitioning to nylon string guitars, which is pretty close to a classical guitar. It's sort of in the same realm if you think about it, and what's really bizarre about it is, like, they have these electric guitars that they're so used to. Like, here's him playing an electric guitar, and their tone is so developed and just generally good, and then when you hear them play a nylon string, it's like, this sounds like crap. And part of the reason why it sounds like crap is because it's first not a real classical guitar. They're using a plastic pick, which sounds kind of bad inherently. Exhibit A, Al Di Meola versus Paco de Lucia. Al Di Meola will play with the piezo with a pick, and then it sounds bad. And then next to Paco, he'll be playing with an acoustic setup using his rest stroke, and it sounds heavenly. So it's strange, but I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth because I'm just happy that nylon is being championed by all these famous guitarists. That has to be good for me, right? So I will take it and I will continue talking about it. And guess what? Tim Henson has a new song. It's called Original Sin. He's playing 2 nylon string guitars in this with himself, apparently. We'll call him Timmy Two-Time now. How many fantasies is Tim Henson fulfilling now? There's 2 of them. Whoa! It's a Tim Henson music video. I'm gonna make some predictions. It's gonna be a lot of nylon string electric guitar. I'm going to make fun of how bad the tone is, because it is. And we're going to look at Tim Henson's pretty little face and tatted up neck, and then we're all going to go home. All right, let's jump into this one, shall we?
I gotta say, just because I
Whoa, friend of the channel, Billy Strings here, hawking his guitar lessons. All right.
found it off an ad, I didn't know. Something in the back of my mind thought it wasn't.
What do you guys want to bet that Billy Strings got guitar lessons based off of a YouTube ad or something? The Billy Strings, mind you, with all the access and the mentors that he could ever possibly want. Hey, I saw an ad and I decided to call them back for my Guitar Center guitar lessons. I'm Billy frickin' Strings. Alright, anyways. Hey, skip ad button. Let's get into it. It already sounds amazing. Also, what is this word that we're looking at right now? Post in the comments. I can't read it. I feel like an old man. Like, what is this? I don't even know what I'm looking at. So, first impressions here. It's in a minor key. Big shocker there. It sounds like the chords are ripped out of Just the Two of Us or something. I heard a 6-5-1 in minor. So it's gonna be like half of Just the Two of Us. That's good. Half a song. Okay, alright. I'm not gonna be negative. Also, the tone is funny. Let's just hear the first section. Plastic strings have never sounded so processed, have they? It sounds like they have an 8-bit synth on top of it, like, sometimes. It makes me wonder how you play something like this live, and does it sound anything like this? I would assume no, unless you're being backed up by a bunch of other tracks. Alright, sorry. Let's keep going. Whoa, nylon string. All right, here we go. Nice pick tremolo there. Wow, lots of distortion on that tone, huh? Yeah. Sort of an interesting observation I have here. If I want to compare this to Goat or even like Playing God, some of their other like kind of similar tracks to this one, I feel like Goat is very much a band experience, and in that you get all these sort of complex relationships between the band and especially the drummer. But I'm finding that everything in this is very basic and simple and just sort of programmed. It almost feels like a backing track just for Tim Henson. So is this a Polyphia song, or is this like... Okay, I guess this is just Tim Henson. I've been under the impression this whole time that this is Polyphia's new track. Okay, so excuse me. This is just the guitarist Tim Henson, and it sounds like it, definitely. And there are parallels to be made to that. As he transitions over to the nylon string, he's becoming more of a solo act, which would be very typical of a classical guitarist. You know, a lot of times they play in ensembles, but of course the stuff they really pour all the time into comes down to the solo repertoire. So in a way, maybe we're seeing Tim's transition into a classical mindset there. Good stuff to see. All right. Very soulful playing time. You know, I love the guitar and all that, but it kind of makes me wonder how much the guitar has held some people back. Because this doesn't really sound like a guitar song anymore. Like, this sounds like something that you could just program and some, like, dubstep producer made, like, exactly all of these notes. But I hope Tim doesn't feel like he needs to include guitar in everything he does. Because I'm almost not even really hearing it. Like, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing the guitar. What I'm hearing, though, just sounds so erratic. And, like, it doesn't sound like instruments. Like, it just sounds like programmed stuff. And again, I'm not trying to slight Tim on this, because when it comes to, like, dance club music, because that's really what this is, right? If I were in a club, which I wouldn't be, but if I were, and if this came on, especially after like 10 other tracks that I'm just not interested in, I would be flipping out over this. I'd be like, play more Polyphia and Tim Henson, please, at this club. Now, that doesn't mean that I find this like that musically interesting. And in fact, I don't really at all. Like, I think I kind of predicted what this was going to sound like after the first 5 seconds or so. But I'm also not the target audience for something like this. This isn't something that I would just listen to on my own because I like it, you know? And in fact, you can look at people like, what's his name? RJ Passon, the guy that I showed you in the last video. This is basically an RJ Passon track, like, in my opinion. Like, it sounds like techno techno's not the right word, like house music or whatever you want to call it, but with the guitar on top of it sometimes, and it's a little dubious if we're actually even hearing a guitar. But it kind of just sounds like music in that realm. And again, RJ Passon is not for me either. The only thing I have to relate on RJ Passon is the guitar playing, which is lackluster at best. And that's like what's funny, because I get to bring it up in my comedy show and be like, hey, look at this, it kind of sucks, right? Tim Henson's way better at guitar, but honestly, if you compare their music, they sound equally good at guitar because it's all just equally programmed in and processed. Once again, not saying it's a bad thing, but the purpose of this music and what it serves is not something that I have a need for. So I don't really like it or care to listen to it. But I am reviewing it for you because you guys wanted me to, and also because I wanted to as well. Alright, let's see what we got. Dude, he kind of looks like he has a Sore Hands hoodie on right now. Tim Henson, send me an email. I'll send you one of these if you want, alright? Yeah, so there we go. I mean, it was alright. I don't know. What do you guys want? It had all the stuff I expected, and in fact, it left me with this question that's been, like, I've been asking it a lot recently. I really want to know why these people are playing these nylon string guitars. And again, I'm not complaining about it, because I think it'll ultimately lead to more people being exposed to the nylon string and therefore classical guitar, because that is the instrument that you play classical music on. But it just makes me wonder why these piezo nylon strings, because they don't sound good. You guys care so much about processing and having control over the sound. It feels like you don't really have that much control over these. They kind of just sound how they sound, and it kind of makes me wonder too, like, okay, so you guys are recording this song separately. You're punching in like note for note probably just to make it as tight as possible. Not saying that Tim Henson can't play, but when you record stuff like this, you're punching in a lot of phrases and a lot of individual notes just for that tightness. So that has nothing to do with the video though. So the guitar you play for that really doesn't matter because nobody's going to see that anyways. I would be really interested to hear what if you guys just tried playing with an actual acoustic classical guitar, even still playing with a pick. Just do that and have the track that you recorded sound good, and then you can still make your cool music video and use your custom nylon string guitars that look really cool but sound like poop, but that doesn't matter because we're not hearing any of this guitar anyways because it's just like a mimed along music video. And it makes me wonder why people like Marson, who even have experience with real classical guitars, you know how good they sound compared to these things, you still record your track with that stupid electric nylon guitar. Why not just use the actual classical, and then when it comes to the visuals, just pretend like you were playing this one? Again, it's not like you're playing it anyways for this video, so who cares? I don't know, maybe I'm talking crazy here. Maybe I am looking the gift horse in the mouth and I should just shut up and just appreciate and be thankful that so many people are interested in playing nylon string guitars these days. But even as a classical guitarist and nylon string advocate, all of these metalheads, metal electric guitar string tone whoop the nylon solid body tone like any day. Like, let's just listen to Goat really quick. What in the world are we... Okay. By the way, I also think Goat is like a better, more memorable song too. I remember Tim Henson was talking a lot about it. It needs to be memorable. I don't remember a darn thing from that, from Original Sin. This one's pretty good though. No, it just first impressions, it sounds like there's a lot of control over that tone, and the harmonics are so like crisp and like punchy. Like, listen to that. You're just able to do more with the sound too. Like I feel like the reverbs have a little more shimmer than if they were a nylon string piezo guitar. Oh man, I feel like it just fits in the mix so much better. I mean, again, I am a classical guitarist and I maybe shouldn't even be saying this. But guys, honestly, you've done enough. Just go back to electric guitar. This has run its course. Try recording on like an acoustic. See how it feels. You might like it. Yeah, it sounds like more intimate, like you would expect a nylon string too, but I guess it's a little off-putting in this kind of mix though, you know? Like maybe that's what I'm hearing. Hey, and just to wrap this thing up, because I feel like I've been kind of negative, it's nice to see somebody making music. Whoa, isn't that cool? And guess what? I don't have to like it, and Tim doesn't care if I like it or not, because it's not even for me to like. It's for all the Tim Henson fans and the people who like club music to like, which I'm not one of those people. And it would be foolish for Tim to try to impress me and people like me, because that's just something that's not going to happen. And even if we are impressed, we're never going to show it, and we're never going to let you know, and we're just going to bury it and pretend like it's not there, because we're douchebags. We're classical douchebags. So just keep doing your own thing, play whatever guitar you want, but do try playing an actual classical guitar sometime. If you're going to play nylon string, you'll find that you might actually like how it sounds. And don't worry, if your thing is gear, they cost plenty of money. You'll get a lot of dopamine hits from buying classical guitars. I know I certainly have. And yeah, alright, well, I think we can go ahead and wrap this one up here. Of course, if you made it this far, be sure to subscribe and leave a like. Hey, guitar lessons? I don't offer them, but I do know people who are, my fellow grad students, so if you want online classical guitar lessons, let me know. If I don't answer your email quickly, it's because I'm busy in grad school. It's not because I hate you or anything like that. Hey, head on down over to Rootin's Delight, pick yourself up a sore hand sweatshirt. It'll go nicely with your neck tattoos if you want to make your mother cry. And yeah, alright, well, I'll see you in the next one.